We strenuously oppose that request because what they are trying to do is to bring evidence by way of ambush. The rules of this House are very clear. They were given an opportunity to file those documents. Why it is an ambush, Chair? They are asking you to allow them to put in 4 affidavits, 5 videos, and 3 exhibits. Why it is an ambush is we will spend the whole of today before you, and tomorrow is their day. When shall we have the time to study that additional material and, if necessary, file our response to it? So our ground number 1 for objection, Chair, is that it is an ambush. Number 2, ordinarily, because there is a quasi-judicial procedure, a party seeking to introduce new material must persuade you that the material in question could not, with due diligence, have been filed within the time given. And time permitting, I will show you why all the material they now seek to bring after the horse is bolted was material within their possession. It was material which, with due diligence, they would have brought in within the timelines. We are also telling you they have not been diligent, because on the record before you, this additional material, together with the material they have already placed before you within the time, is material that ought to have been placed in the first instance before the county assembly. On the record, the governor was given 7 days to file a response before the county assembly. She did not avail herself of that opportunity. So that as we speak, Chair, even the material filed on time, we are seeing it for the first time when, under the rules, that material ought to have been placed before the county assembly.
Number 4.
It was not. Number 4, we are hoping we will persuade you.
Read the proposed new material on its face. There is nothing in it that would justify the request now being made. And our 5th objection is that this is part of the ploy, Chair, knowing how part and time-bound these proceedings are, to eat into so much of today's time through preliminary issues, knowing very well, of course, that the time to be eaten is the one my team would normally use. Chair, why do we raise all these things? They tell you casually, they sent these things by email. What they don't tell you is that that email was sent at 5:24 p.m. yesterday. Yesterday was Boxing Day, but even if it were a working day, 5:24 p.m. As a matter of fact, Chair, we have only seen that email today morning while wrapping our bundles to come to today's session. And when we saw it, Chair, among the 5 things they're asking you to, one of the things we hope you'll note if you're familiar with the documents they ought to introduce, is that they are telling you in their proposed additional affidavit by Gatobu Mudhuri at paragraph 4, that these videos that they propose to introduce, they are videos they have edited. They tell you that in paragraph number 4, number 7, number 8, number 9, and number 10. He's telling you, I edited these videos by adding captions, and he's also admitting to you that the same captions he put are erroneous. That's why now he needs to put correct captions. The question, Chair, is based on that deposition where the person requesting is already admitting to you in black and white that the reason they want to bring this new evidence is because they edited the videos they brought to you within time. So for that reason, Chair, we say that affidavit by Patrick Gatobu could not be admissible. There is another one by Harrison Gatobu. These are two Gatobus, Chair. It's a different person. One is Harrison, the other one is Patrick. He's telling you when you read his affidavit that he is the chief of staff of the governor and that he is aware of all the allegations under charge number 1. He is aware of the circumstances and therefore he should be allowed to put in this additional affidavit. Chair, I urge you, like everyone in the room, to know that the person who would be competent to speak to county appointments is not the governor's chief of staff. It is the secretary of the County Public Service Board. Failing that, it will be the county secretary. Elementary knowledge. So the man now purporting to ask you to introduce additional evidence by way of an affidavit is not the man in law who is qualified to speak to the matters he proposes to speak to. And of course, he goes on to tell you many other things. He tells you some documents were inadvertently omitted and whatnot and whatnot. Chair, if you go to that affidavit they propose to put, it is by a gentleman called Edward Bundi Geoffrey. They are telling you the reason they want to put this document is because this gentleman put before you an affidavit that was not signed, an affidavit that was not commissioned by a commissioner for oaths, and because he forgot to do that, which is lack of due diligence, he's asking you, the committee should allow him. They have a further affidavit by a gentleman called Samuel Mwenda, same reasons, no ground given. The annexures they propose to put you, one of them is an annexure about an invitation letter, which is already in the governor's response as filed. So we don't know, and in any event, this annexure should have been put before the county assembly in the first instance. They had their whole 7 days to do that. They chose not to. Lastly, they propose to put before you a document that is 9 pages, which is the speech given by the governor on 19th October 2022. 19 October 2022 was about 6 weeks before the impeachment. So the governor was always in possession of that document. The million-dollar question is, why wasn't it put before the assembly? And why wasn't it put before you on time? For those very many reasons, Chair, and I really regret we are taking more of the time we should be doing the case, we beseech you that they have not laid out a good reason for the request they make before you. In the event, Chair, we are unable to persuade you to reject this request, in the event the House grants the request, we crave that you similarly allow us a request to also put our